Good morning, good morning. It's your boy Self-Preservation. Hey, so check this out. I made it home and came to see my dog. I'm headed back now. Make this last run for the last day of the week. I had to freshen up, shower and everything. I feel good right now, so but yeah, back in Kansas City temporarily. As soon as I get over here, we'll be pulling off. I'll see if our trailers are ready. They usually are on the weekend. I'm not for sure though. My teammate was sleeping, so I left him there at the truck sleeping. We got in kind of early, so, and I know they won't dispatch that early, so yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's kind of chilly. I think I saw it was 37 degrees here in Kansas City. Not quite freezing point, but it's cold. I mean, it is cold. Well, it's been a long week, but it's almost over with. So I'm not going to complain. So, Kansas City was supposed to open up on, I know they were supposed to open up on the 4th. That had been bumped up to the 11th. But since they found more cases over by the Argosy Casino, I understand they have moved it up to the 15th of May, which is supposed to be like a mass opening of Kansas City. They kind of opened up Kansas City in like a phase, I guess, you know, to see how it would go. I wasn't here when they opened up. I mean, I took off, missed out on Cinco de Mayo. I didn't really miss anything, though, because I wasn't going to be socializing, of course. So, I don't know, a lot of people think that just because they kind of relaxed the stay-at-home order, that everything is over with and everything is cool. I feel differently. I really feel differently. I've never really been a skeptic, but I guess I'm a skeptic when it comes to this here. I know a lot of people were just getting restless and didn't like staying still, didn't like staying at home. But I guarantee you, a lot of people who had jobs kept complaining about projects that they wanted to complete. This was the perfect time to complete those projects. I didn't have any projects like that. I mean, because I did everything on a day-to-day basis, you know. I read and study a lot. That's all I do. You know. Exercise. I wasn't even counting the exercise, but yeah. That's an integral part of my lifestyle. So now, man, it feels good being back here. My teammate, I understand, is going to try to go back to an old route that he really likes. He's been complaining about not being able to spend time with his family, and I understand that. I try to make it easier for him as well, you know, to let him know that, you know, we have camaraderie. You know, we get along good together. But I let him know, I was like, hey, you know, don't let that stop you. You know, you do what's best for you and yours. So he wants to go back to doing a Texas route, Fort Worth. You know, he claims it makes more money than what we do now, but I don't see how that is. He'll get 2 days off a week as compared to the 1 day a week that we get off here. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe my metrics are off. I don't know, but I can't calculate and measure that and see that that makes more money than what we make now. Because I mean, I make pretty good money right now, and I mean, I'm satisfied. You know, and that's not braggadocio. It's just it's a fact. I'm satisfied with what I'm making right now. And I know that I couldn't go somewhere else and make this kind of money. I was on Facebook, and one of the truck drivers had posted that they understood that some of the trucking companies were laying off because they didn't have any shipment to transport, no freight. And they asked people, you know, how was things going at their job. So if I think anything was braggadocio, I would think everybody who responded, and me included, I responded twice. I would think that would be braggadocio, you know. But I mean, you had people on there stating facts, you know. Some people said that they work for a small company and they weren't affected as much. Even though the rates were down low, they weren't affected as much. Me, myself, I just said that, you know, the wheels are spinning 6 days a week, you know, and a day, that's from one morning to the next morning. We obtain about 2,162 miles in a day, our route, just every day. So if you calculate that day's total mileage times 6, you know, getting some miles. So it's 1,081 miles one way to get there, and then we have to come back. I did the math. That's like, ooh, did I do it wrong? Let me think about that for a minute. Nope, I did it right. 2,162 miles. So, and I don't know, just know that I'm satisfied. I'm okay. It's a blessing. That was something else I said on there. It's a blessing because some of us aren't able. You know, my heart goes out to those who, you know, have been struggling. People have had to find new jobs. People are still waiting around because they don't have a job. You know, it's sad. That's suffering. You know, some people are suffering. And, you know, just because some of us are doing well. Now, see, I can speak on this firsthand. Because for a long time, I had suffered, you know. Man, I had been homeless. I lived in a homeless shelter. We don't even talk about relationships. You know, I've been walked on, everything, you know. I ain't gonna say too much because it sounds like I'm playing a violin, trying to take part in a concerto, so I won't even go there. But I mean, if you want to talk about somebody suffering, I have suffered as well. So I mean, my heart goes out to those who are suffering. But believe me this, you suffering now, I don't know how to tell you to get through it, how to endure it. I'm just going to tell you to endure it because it's not going to last long. It's kind of like you've been put in the fire, but you'll also be pulled out of that fire. You know, it won't last forever. Suffering is temporal. Okay? It's transitory. You'll go through it, and then you'll come out of it. And once you come out of it, you'll be a better person. And hopefully your condition will be better. You know, but you also have to try and strive to change your condition too. I mean, you can't just sit around and just say, you know, hey, the Lord is going to drop a blessing out of the sky for me. I mean, I don't know. I can't really make the call on that. But I know if you take a step, he'll take a few steps towards you. Whatever your denomination, whatever your religion is, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure, you know, we all believe somewhat the same thing. There's certain differences, but put forth that effort. Take the initiative. You know, you have to make life what you want it to be. I was told that when I was younger. I had a girlfriend. She was a little bit older than I was. When she went to college, I was still in high school. And I remember she used to tell me, life is what you make it. And if you see this video, the person who I'm talking about, thank you. That's the best advice you could have given me. She's pretty successful now. She lives in Arizona, you know, and yeah, she's pretty successful doing the things that she's doing, you know, but I won't say any names or anything. I just want to say I appreciate the advice. I appreciate the guidance, because that put me on a whole another path when you told me that, because things looked kind of dismal for me when I was, you know, coming up, growing up. I was trying to find out who I was, you know, just like any typical teenager. And hey, dropped that gem in my lap, you know, and I've held on to it, and I believe it to be true. Life is what you make it. So I know this is a saying also, but a cliche, but I heard it in a rap too. I can't remember who actually said it, but he who works like a slave eats like a king. That's a true adage as well. He who works like a slave eats like a king. So, you know, I'm living proof of that. We have a few homeless shelters here, I think, but the one that I actually kind of fell into was Restart. It was called Restart, and they're real good about, you know, their programs could help someone get on their feet. Honest with you, I didn't need their programs, and I let them know that when I came there. I said I just needed a place to lay my head. You know, I told them that the whole time I was there, I was, you know, I plan on searching for employment, you know, so I can get back on my feet. It was unfortunate circumstances that actually led me there, that put me there, you know, some situations that I had no control over, you know, but all I can say is I'm grateful, because had I not gone through that experience, I wouldn't be where I am today, you know. I will say this, even while I was there, I want to say I didn't think about truck driving, but that would be wrong, because there was a mention of truck driving. I took some kind of test, some series of tests for this place called the FEC. FEC stands for Full Employment Council, and they have these I don't know, some kind of organization that will fund certain type of programs, and I think there was a truck driving program to try and get my CDL, but I don't know, somehow I didn't go that route. Instead, what I ended up doing was I found a job working for KU Medical Center, and you know, I was told, get my foot in the door, and then I could pursue whatever, you know, pathway I wanted to pursue. First stepping in there, I wanted to be an interpreter. It's an interpreter, not a translator. I wanted to be an interpreter. I thought I had to get my foot in the door, so I went in as a food service worker. Once I got in there, got to working, I started talking with some of the interpreters, and come to find out, KU hires interpreters from a company from outside of KU Medical Center. So I didn't even have to do what I end up doing. I didn't have to get my foot in the door. I could have went to one of those outside language consulting firms and could have qualified, could have taken their, the series of language tests, and I don't know if they test you like the military do. They test you, see if what your fluency is, and reading, listening, and writing. I don't know. I think it's just mostly oral, maybe. But so I didn't pursue that. I wanted to. I didn't. I was a food service worker, and I'd say probably a little more than a month, I got promoted to become a nutrition assistant. I really liked that job, but while I was at work, it was during that time, shortly after I was going to work, back and forth, Restart had allowed some felons to, I don't know, some kind of program, let them come stay there at the Restart. And what was happening was those felons were snatching the locks open, the lockers open. We had locks on them and everything, padlocks. They were snatching the locks open, going through people's stuff, stealing stuff. I had very minimal possessions in the lockers there. It wasn't really nothing for me to really worry about. But I remember my roommates there, they called me on my phone. First they text me, and I got somewhere where I could call them and talk to them, and they told me that my locker was one of those that got snatched open. So yeah, shortly thereafter, I was not there no more. I went ahead and left. But I was doing something. That's the whole moral of the story. Sorry it had to be a long, drawn-out story, but the moral of what I was telling was, life is what you make it. And I was trying to make my life better, and I did that by, seeking employment and working. I ended up getting me an apartment, because I used to have to walk from Restart all the way to from 9th Street. Yeah, from 9th Street all the way to 39th Street. And that's just like from north to south. We're not even talking about having to go west once you get to 39th Street. I didn't catch the bus or anything. I was walking. I walked during the snow. I walked when it was raining. And so I ended up getting me an apartment. And I was trying to seek finding me some form of a vehicle to get back and forth where I needed to go to. It's just been a struggle. I just put it that way. But I've come a long way. I can testify. I have a testimonial. I've come a long way. And I'm still striving. I mean, I'm not rich. I'm still striving. Yeah. So see, there you go. This discussion with you guys, I had a little bit more substance to put into this vlog, this video log. Alright, so alright, I'm gonna get ready to go. I'm not gonna stay on here. I'm almost at my destination, and I'm definitely going to post this one. I think this is a good post. Like I said, I'm going to try to do what I can to bring something that you will enjoy. You will, wouldn't mind listening to me talk. I'll try and bring some more activity, a lot more substance, okay, understanding. All right, y'all have a good day. Peace.